Hey, middle-aged gamers, you purchase this one cartridge and you get 100 games for free with no modding? Let's talk about it. So if you've been live on YouTube or you've been looking on social media, you might have seen a few YouTubers be very careful about talking about this topic. So again, we're going to be the same way. We're not going to tell you how to do it, where to get it. Please do your own research. I guess the thing I'd like to talk about today is just basically like, what do you think about it? What do you think about this idea? So what it is, right? It is a $100 depending where you buy it from. It's a small little equivalent of an SD card, but I don't know what the special term is for that card that goes into your Switch cartridge. You plug it in there, and from the person that you bought it from, I just looked at one seller, you can download 100 games or so, or however many games you want to put it onto this cartridge, and you can play them for free without having purchased the actual games. So that's interesting. And I mean, I remember growing up, and maybe Anton or Adam can talk about this, but like, yeah, I did not, in theory, acquire games in the most legal manner growing up because, again, I was a kid. And, I had my monthly pocket money or allowance or whatever you want to call it, right? Was 100 Taiwanese dollars a month. And that's the money I used to buy a book, which was too cheap. It's not enough money to buy a game back then. I don't remember what the price of games were because I just never bought any. But I still played lots of games back then. So that being said, as an adult, I've bought every single game that I've ever played for like the last 10 years, and then I combine that with Humble Bundle and Steam sales and Green Man Gaming and instant games, right? It's so easy to buy games for cheap. So, but at the same time, I understand it's like when you're younger, maybe you just got a Switch, but your parents don't earn that much money, this might be a good option for you. That being said, if you can afford to buy games, I think you definitely support the developers. Again, on this channel, we talked about all the developers who shut down in the last year, right? Microsoft laid off 2,550 employees so far within, and not only within gaming, but I mean in total, not to mention all those game studios. And we've probably had every single month this year, a game studio has shut down, or about like 5 to 6 weeks, which is kind of terrible. So if you do have the option, please support the game studios. Then there's also this option of, some people like to make the argument, and this was made in the States about when it comes to retro gaming, where like, hey, I should be able to borrow games from a library. And they went to some Copyright Association of the United States, and they said, no, sorry, this doesn't come under preservation. Because that is the thing, right? It's like with digital games, at some point you're going to lose it, it's going to break, it's going to get scratched. And then you've just lost the game that you've actually paid money for. So, is this okay to get a cartridge like this? I think in this specific circumstance, definitely not. But in general, to be able to make ROMs of your games, again, this is like, we're expanding the scope of this conversation beyond what I wanted to talk about. But I think these are all valid issues, like saying, hey, I should be able to download the copy of Zelda Breath of the Wild or of Link's Awakening, whatever it is, even though my physical copy is dead, right? Like, and again, maybe that's the advantage of digital. Digital is like, hey, yes, I bought it digitally and I can download it in perpetuity. And when Nintendo did come out last week or this week and confirm, yes, Switch 2 backward compatibility, and it's going to make your Switch 1 games look that much prettier. So Switch 1, Switch 2, you can download all the games that you've ever bought digitally speaking, but if you bought physical games, of course, you're out of luck if your games break.